This diaspora center is to be owned by the diasporas. And the diasporas who have the foresight, like I say here in Canada, can take control. The idea is have a place where you can call your own, where you can own. The federal government is not interested in doing anything about it. They will give you the land, but come and own it. And the process is on now. I think this is the time to key into it. And so we were talking about, even having a hospital in that same center, a world-class hospital that will be brought by Nigerians in the diaspora. We have the best doctors, like Dr. Tujibelo, who's going to treat my legs before I leave Canada. We have the best doctors in the world, but what is our problem? Look at the state of our hospitals. 70% of black doctors in America are Nigerians. And just like you said, a particular hospital had to close down in Trinidad and Tobago because the doctors and nurses had to go for their visa. They closed down because virtually 70% of the staff are Nigerians. So what is our problem? If we have all these all over the world, why aren't we harnessing these things for our own development? But before that, you must succeed wherever you are, which is where your presentation, which I said is the keynote presentation, makes a whole lot of sense. Now we have a community of Nigerians all over the world who this year alone sent $21 billion to Nigeria's remittances. This is more than all the aid from the so-called developed world, which I don't know whether you're part of that developed world or part of ours. Sent to Nigeria. With $21 billion, you are contributing to maybe part of the reasons why we have not collapsed is the money being remitted by Nigerians to the diaspora. And that is a lot of money. And that is the largest sent by any country in Africa. 70% of the remittances to Africa is from Nigerians in the diaspora, which of course includes every one of you in this room, and I think we should appreciate you for that. But we need to appreciate you for more than that. Not because you're sending money home. In fact, that is the formal one. We're not including the $500 that Dr. Tuji said I should give his sister in Ikorodu, that he abandoned there. You remember he used to live there. It's not the $1,000 that His Excellency will say, oh, drop with so which is also a lot of money. And we're talking to Central Bank to ensure that even these informal remittances, we can have a way of putting them. But you know what? What they tax us that is sent to Africa is much less. I mean, what they tax those going to Asia is very little compared to what they tax what is coming to Africa. And we're going to ask them, why is that so? They say, well, your country it has challenges. What challenge is it? You're taking much more money than you're taking to what is going to India and all that. So that is another thing we'll intend to look into as a committee. But you see, to achieve all these things, which is where I come to what Ms. Kemi said, what is our problem as Nigerians in the diaspora? And I want to put what both of you have said together. Internal wranglings, fighting. Look at your talent. You do not have a committee where you can come together and say, this is the Nigerian community. What is the problem? Naidu has spoiled so much that I had to stop all the NigerianPolitics.com or whatever it is you people send online and abuse one another. If my name is Abike and I'm talking about a doctor there, because it's Igbo, we start quarreling, not because of the substance. So really, I think we're all fed up with that. And that's why I want to commend this organization for starting this. But both of you talked about dreams. You are a dream maker. You're succeeding. 5, 12 years, by the time your daughter grows, you'll be leaving things for your grandchildren. Fantastic at 30. You are talking about Martin Luther King, who talked about having a dream. But don't let this your dream die. I don't want to see you in 4 years' time and hear that this is one other major organization going down the drain. So the challenge is this. Let this dream work. Let this be a success story. Let us come together again next year, anytime, and talk about that Nigerian community that you've been able to put together here in Canada. Because you have the wherewithal, you have the opportunities, you have the success stories. So we do not see any reason why you cannot succeed. Now, I don't really care about numbers. We can be here in this hall maybe 2030, but it's not about the number, but it's about the quality of the people that we're engaging with. And with this quality of these people, I see no reason why you cannot succeed with this new organization that you have put together. So the internal rankings, I hope it will not affect ZMP, Nigerian professionals. Huh? No, but the yes is not very strong. It's like you're not so sure whether those internal languages will crop it into your organization.
No, it won't.
Oh, okay. I want a strong no, it won't.
No, it won't.
Now, what does Nigeria need from this diaspora? I think both of you have also talked about it. Commitment. But the commitment is a two-way traffic. You want a commitment also from your country, Nigeria. You know, you left home separate. There are some of you who have come back, and I can speak of someone like Professor Mani. He's been frustrations along the way. He's building things in various institutions, so today they're owing so much money, billions of naira, but he's doing it, he's struggling, and he's happy that at least I'm in my country, I'm doing something, I've been in America for years, I'm giving back. You see, there will be challenges, but we all have to go through those challenges together. So you see, commitment comes from both sides, from you to your country and from your country to you. But you see, what I have a problem with is those who just come to me and say, Honorable, what is it? You said we should come home now. Are you going to give me a job? Are you going to get me a car? Are you going to... I said, well, that is not my job. But we're not even saying pack your bags and come home. We're saying that what you're doing here is what should be done. It's not about physical presence, but you see, that synergy must be there. And whichever way, as both of you have said, Nigeria is your country. That's why your parents took you to a Kumagon. So you don't get cut off from your culture. Because the reality is that that is where you're going to retire to. That is where you should retire to. No matter how long you've been away or whatever. Because at the end of the day, that is home. So if Americans that have been taken away as slaves years ago are coming back to look for that home, why shouldn't we? But we can't if we don't succeed wherever we are. But the good thing is, a lot of you are succeeding. And all of you in this hall are examples of success stories. And that is what we want to celebrate in Nigeria. But what do we hear all the time? 419, drugs, fraud, which comes back to this idea of not having a strong community, whereby you don't have a strong community who is going to defend you. If you're just one or two, and you're not a strong pressure group, then there's a problem. And that image thing will continue if we do not address it as we're trying to do. Drugs, 419. What haven't we heard about Nigerians abroad? One Honorable Olayemi was saying that Canadians are very woman-friendly, which they are. But it was his experience at the airport. Fantastic, they didn't stop him. Oh, Nigerian, Nigerian, where are you coming from? Washington, New York. He said, these people are good. Even they treat Nigerians like this. But we told you, I suppose we are coming from America. If we were coming from Nigeria, they probably ask more questions, search you and all that, because that is the image that we have, and a wrong image at that. And one of the things we are trying to do at that is that we have a magazine. Mr. Adeline, just give me one copy. We have this magazine. This is the first edition. The Vice President launched it just 3 weeks ago. It's called The Diaspora. Under it is Wazobia. Wa, of course, means Yoruba for come. Zo means the Hausa for come. And Bia is the Hausa, is the Igbo for come. So a combination of Diaspora Wazobia. On the front cover is Mr. Ogulese, who owns Gatwick Airport. It's a Nigerian, even the Vice President in London. You look at him and say, you mean a Nigerian owns the... So when I featured the next cover, I put Mr. Isaac Olowolafe, who is building a $40 billion mall across Toronto, the first by any black man. I'm sure they're going to say, you mean we have that? And if I come and talk about Dr. Tuji Bello, who cured the ache in my leg, and I could get in doctor to do that all over, they say, oh, you mean he's a Nigerian? And I'm sure all of you are like that in this hall. So this is to celebrate our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. We just felt we can't be talking and saying, let's just talk about ourselves. Let us celebrate ourselves. Let us build confidence in ourselves as Nigerians. Let us tell our own story. So this should go a little far. And then we have the car designer from Sokoto, Jelani Ali. He designed the car for Chevy Boat. He's a Nigerian. There's the 13-year-old girl who has been admitted into every university in America. She just chose... She just chose her 13-year-old. She's a Nigerian. There are several stories like that. And of course, we have the story of my mama in Brazil who, eventually died in Brazilian prison. It's a long story. So there are quite a lot of achievers here. And the next edition wants to feature a lot of you from Canada. And I think everybody in this room is qualified to be smart. But we will celebrate it, give to every embassy in Nigeria and here, and then put it online and distribute in all our regions all over the world. And you know the funniest thing? This magazine is not even 2 months old, and it is more of the non-Nigerian communities that are asking for them. So we're going to also put more about Nigeria, cultural attractions, what you can do and cannot do. So I'm going to give copies. I don't have enough, but we'll just give out the few that we have. And the next edition, you'll see that a lot of you in Canada will feature in this magazine. And let us celebrate ourselves as a people. Let us build confidence in ourselves as Nigerians. Let us tell the whole world that we have the best. And truly, I mean that we are. Oh, we have people like you excelling everywhere in the world. Who will do it for us but ourselves? So this is our own little contribution as a committee to put together the success stories of Nigerians and talk about ourselves and build confidence in ourselves as a people, more so for the younger generation of Nigerians. Because when you sit down and ask yourself, what really is our problem as a nation, leadership? If we have oil, what we have, Canada does not have. That is the truth. What we have, so many countries do not have. Whether it's human resources, whether it is mineral resources, whether it is oil and gas, we have everything. Agriculture, we have everything. Malaysia took palm oil from Benin. Today Malaysia imports palm oil to Nigeria. So we have everything. I believe that what we don't have, which we're struggling to strive at, is leadership. And how can you help with that? Fine, you cannot vote in 2015. You know it is not realistic. It's not going to happen because the logistics is just not there. But you can be a pressure group. You can talk to your brothers and sisters. Use your knowledge, the internet, the new world of technology to convince everybody to go out and vote. Even if you cannot vote, like we were discussing with Bali, you can form an NGO to monitor elections in Nigeria. That's a way of contributing to ensure we have free and fair elections. If I know that as a legislator, as a political office holder, one vote can get me out of office, then I'll not take anybody for granted. But if I know that it really doesn't matter, and I can do anything. So the challenge is, how do we ensure we have the leadership that we truly need? We don't have to go the way of Cairo or all this violence. No, you know why we don't have to? Because we have a democracy. We already have a democracy. It's like everything has been worked out. People have made mistakes in the past. What we need to do now is ensure that democracy works. Ensure that we go out there and vote for leaders of our choice. You see, we sit back and say they've taken light, it's okay. Which you wouldn't do abroad. They've slapped you, it's okay. But we're not asking questions. I sponsor the Freedom of Information Law in Nigeria. The law is to empower every Nigerian to ask questions about how the nation's resources is being spent, but Nigerians are not using it. And it's there for you to ask questions. How is your country being run? What do you do with this money? You can galvanize all that. Election is just, it's less than 2 years away. And when we begin to hold our leaders responsible and accountable, when we begin to use our voices, when we decide that our voices will be heard, we'll get the kind of leaders that we want. And the good thing is, opposition is coming together, you're going to have choices. And you can get up and say, okay, His Excellency, who I think is coming home to contest after service, because people like you should be home to take part, to be part of the political sense. If you decide that is the best person, then you galvanize and vote for the person. However, I believe that the next persons should all be women. So we will have women, vice presidents, governors. I think we can make the difference, right? Although we are small in this room, but if you think we can make the difference, say, hey. So the men did not say so. So, ladies and gentlemen, for me and for Honorable Busari Yemi and everybody here, it's been a pleasure being with you here. For me, I'm motivated. When I see people like you, people like our 30-year-old gentleman, people like Kembi, people like every one of you in this hall who will put in this commitment to put this together. I think that is enough inspiration for every one of us. Nigeria is our country. And I'm proud to be in Nigeria, no matter the challenges. And when I come back again, I want to be in Nigeria. But I want a structured Nigeria. A Nigeria with infrastructure, like you said. A Nigeria with strong community, with strong ideals, with virtues of discipline, integrity, hard work, with those values that should take us to the next level. And I know we will get there. But even the government cannot do it alone. If you don't demand for it, it's not going to happen. So the challenge is, as you succeed here, my brother, my sister, and every one of you, channel that energy back home. Use it to develop your country, and we can all do it together. But our pride is that you're Nigerians, and you're excelling everywhere you find yourself. And we are there to support you. We are there to act as that synergy. And I mean it, that more. There's no reason why you cannot get up tomorrow and put together something and build it. Maybe in the centenary city in Abuja, they're waiting for people like you to see what you want to do. What you can, if there are frustrations along the way, come to us and talk to us, and we'll help you out. But you see, the country is yearning for investment. Why should you look for, when the VP saw this, I said, VP, you went to China to look for Chinese people to come and build airports in Nigeria. A Nigerian did this, and he was surprised. So why are we looking for South Africans to build our shopping malls when Isaac Olowolafe is here in Canada doing it? So that is a challenge to all of us. You will find frustration, but I think ultimately, if you're determined, you're going to succeed, and you'll be proud that you did it here, and you did it there. I'm using you as to represent all our brothers and sisters who are doing great things and who will also do it, translate it back to their own country. So thank you very much, NPBN. When you invite us again, we want to hear your success stories. We don't want to hear stories of, oh, we fought because Kemi and Dr. Tuji Bello had a quarrel. Or all those things we hear. We don't want to hear, oh, Wale Adesoya is too assertive and he wants to do it all, so we thought we should take it back. Oh, he's getting too popular and we don't want him anymore. Please, let this work. Let us tell the story of this organization as one that set the pace and set the standard for all the diaspora groups all over the world. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and we look forward to a fruitful relationship with all of you and a success story called Nigeria Together. Thank you very much.
Amazing that there was some foresight to set up a committee on diaspora and start to listen to people in the diaspora. My question is basically, what is the mechanism that people in the diaspora can effectively interact with your committee and people in that need to hear from us, right? I mean, it's you hear a lot of noise on the news forums and all kinds of stuff, which is I mean, most of it is actually noise. But there are some people, a lot of people who have some very, very good ideas who get drowned out by the noise. If there was a way that these people can effectively communicate with your committee and others in the government, it would be fantastic. It will cut out a lot of the overhead that people currently experience right now. So, I mean, if such does exist, it would be a good idea to maybe let Mr. Wale know, and we'll assist in disseminating that information. And if it doesn't, then maybe this is a good time to see how we can get that information.
So we have a website. Then there's also one for Office of Honorable Abike Dabiri. I'll send everything. Wale has it. So you can send to those two. I have my personal website, aodabiri@yahoo.com, which they all have. So please, anytime, feel free to communicate with us. We reply everybody. There's nobody we don't reply. Even the stupid ones, we reply everybody. So when you have, yes. When somebody was abusing me and she's coming to Nigeria, I should give her a car from the airport. So I told her that your coin is chopping. So we'll reply everybody. There's the Diaspora Committee website, which we are still making better. Then there's this magazine, which I want you to make contributions to. Please, like the young man, where's my youth? I'll come to you now. There's a column next week called firstmugu.com. You can firstmugu.com, which is for someone like you to educate others coming to Canada. What should you expect? You've been here for a few years. What should you expect when you're coming? So I want the next contribution from you. Those are ways we're trying to also let others know about what is going on. So I think Honorable Busari has answered the issue of motivation security. My brothers and sisters, motivate yourselves. Nobody can change Nigeria but ourselves. And I want to, re-echo what has been said. Nobody can change Nigeria but